You're listening to the Hustled Up Podcast. We're Holly and Laura, besties since birth, cleaning business owners, multi-passionate doers, and founders of the Hustle Haven, a modern business education and networking collective built for fellow entrepreneurs who crave growth, support, and real connection. Now, we're your go-to girlies for the real side of entrepreneurship. We're covering wins, fails, and the messy middle. So come on in and let's talk branding, booking, burnout, and everything in between. If you're in serious need of tips, tea, total transformation, and that let's freaking go energy, you're in the right place. Grab your earbuds, turn up the volume, and let's hustle up. Hello, friends, family, followers, fellow hustlers, and our amazing, amazing supporters. Welcome back to another episode of the Hustled Up Podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Holly.
And my name is Laura.
And today's episode comes from a listener request. We are super excited to do this. I love doing these. We need more of them. But we had somebody slide into the Instagram DMs. Thank you so much for listening and supporting Bestie. We love you. And she wanted us to talk about pay structure. Overall, what it is. And we will also spill the tea and let you guys know what we do, all the different ways you can think about paying your employees. And we're also going to talk about other things you need to consider in addition to pay. Pay is important, but it's not the end all be all of keeping your employees happy and getting them to stay and work and do the job well. So we're going to be talking about all of that. Before we jump into the episode, though, I do want to let you guys know that we will not be posting an episode next week because we will be in Tennessee, baby. We're going to be in the Smokies with our cleaning company owner friends. And I am so excited. Some people who have been on this show, like Jen Rogers and Libby DeLucian, we're going to be hanging out with them in the Smokies. We're going to be collaborating and talking ideas and talking shop, but we're also going to be having fun and paddling on the lake and probably
I need this more than ever.
Right? Shopping in Gatlinburg. We're just going to be having a great time and we're going to take the week off. So it'll be a wonderful week to catch up on old episodes. So get yourself ready because we have a lot. We have 150, I think 6 now episodes for you to peruse. And so we just wanted to let you know that really quick. But without further ado, let's talk about how to pay your employees in the home service space. Stay tuned. Hey, business owners, are you looking for a better way to communicate with your employees? Whether you've just grown tired of your boring, unresponsive email threads or you're sick of paying tons of money for something like Slack or Connect Team, Discord is your answer, and I'm going to teach you all about it. In the Hustle Haven's brand new course, Discord 101, I am going to walk you through step by step on how to create a Discord server for your business. This detailed course features over 90 minutes of video content, as well as a bunch of PDF downloads to get your server ready to absolutely slay your employee communications. Get ready to level up your company culture with this free platform. Don't wait any longer. Discord 101 is the course for you. Okay, welcome back, friends. Like I said, we are going to be talking about paying your employees in the home service space. So the first thing I want to disclose, a lot of you guys know that we are on a commission-based scale, but not everybody does that, and that's okay. The truth of the matter is commission doesn't work for everybody.
No, there's no one right way to pay.
Exactly. There is no one right way. And honestly, you have to check in your state to see what is even allowed. Because I don't know. And I don't want you to take this as like any kind of legal or like HR advice because it's not, because I don't know what your state allows. But there are different kinds of pay structures. There's hourly pay, there's salary pay, there's commission-based pay. There's bonuses and even profit sharing, which I don't think anybody's doing that, at least not yet. But at the end of the day, we need to, when you're thinking about hiring an employee, or let's say you have a few and you're kind of trying to figure out what's best for your company, what really comes into play when it comes to pay. I'm really just setting myself up for failure here. But what you need to really think about is what behaviors does each kind of pay bring out in your employees, right? Because they're all different. And so I don't want to come here and lecture you on, oh, commission is the best way or hourly is the way to go. I figured we would lay out some of the pros and cons of hourly versus commission, because these are the two we're kind of going to focus on today.
Yeah, I feel like they're the most common. A lot of people, especially in this industry or most service-based industries, I don't think are paying on salary or profit share unless it's like a higher up in the company.
Yes, or like your leadership team or something like that.
We're focused on the cleaning technicians, or if you're in other service-based businesses, who's your technicians in the field? Who's doing the work?
Yes, exactly. So let's talk about hourly first, and let's talk about the pros and cons.
Yeah, and we did this for a while. For anybody who thinks we've always done commission, we did hourly for many, many years. And there are definitely cons, but there's also some pros that I kind of miss.
Yeah, there are. So let's talk about should we talk about cons first? Yes, right?
Yeah,
cons first.
Yeah.
So it goes without saying with any hourly employee, and especially if it's hourly where it's almost like job based, like you have to work until the job is done, right? So it's not like you're running a store and you tell somebody, okay, you're going to come in and work from 8 to 4 and you're going to be paid hourly, because they're working from 8 to 4. They're getting paid from 8 to 4. In our industry and in the home service space, it's a little more complex because they're working hourly until the job is done.
Right.
So what this means is that there are people who can milk the clock.
Oh, yeah. And it happens, honestly, in this industry. If there's no incentive to make somebody move more swiftly, why would they?
Yeah.
Why would they?
Yeah. They can kind of be a little lazy or just kind of move at a turtle's pace because they don't have to worry about it. They're getting paid for the time that they're there. What does it matter? But in retrospect, just to kind of give you the other side of the coin here, right? Sometimes that hourly pay, because they're getting paid until the job is done, right? Technically, they might be more meticulous.
Yeah.
They might be more detailed. They might be, they're moving slower, but it's not because they're being lazy. It's actually because they want to make sure every detail is like perfect on the job.
Yeah. I do feel like it is easier to guarantee quality with hourly pay because, and again, not that on a commission-based pay, I don't want you to think that because we pay commission, we encourage our employees to rush. We don't. They have to stay till the job is done no matter what. They have to do a good job. Quality has to be there. We don't encourage them to rush or be fast. We encourage them to be efficient. But with hourly pay, there really isn't a sense of urgency, so it can definitely cost you more, but the job is most likely guaranteed to get done right. And I will say too, another pro for hourly pay, it's probably in some ways a little less stressful for your technician. They're not, I would assume even when you're paying hourly, even when we paid hourly, we still had a set amount of time assigned to each job, but there is a little bit less motivation to finish on time, which can cause some stress, I think, if you are beating a clock. And in some cases, it can cause more stress for the employees.
For sure. And I think, we'll visit this because I want to talk heavily about expectations as well. We talk about this a lot. But when it comes to, I'll go there in a minute. Let's talk about commission pay for a second. So this is what we now use and it works. Now, with any kind of pay structure, let me just preface with this. You have to be hiring the right people.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not hiring the right people, neither of these options will work because commission also has its pros and cons. Commission-based pay rewards efficiency, as you said, which is great because now you're going to get people who are hustling through the house. They're making sure they're not cutting corners, but they're making sure they're following the way you taught them. They're making sure everything is done right, but they're also able to get it done in a great amount of time. Now, what's cool about this is in some cases, if you get people who are super efficient and able to move quickly, you can fit more jobs on their schedule. So now you're making more money.
Yep.
Or at least you have the opportunity to make more money. Not only does your employee have the opportunity to make more money because they're able to work more jobs now, but you're also making more money as the business owner because let's not forget, the more money your employee is making, the more money you are making on commission-based pay.
Yep. It's like a win-win scenario. Everybody wins.
Yep. So it's good in that regard. But, and we have had to have conversations with our technicians about this when it comes to rushing, cutting corners, Oh, yeah. Doing what's good enough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's good enough. Nobody's going to complain. It's good enough. I can leave, and when they leave 15 minutes early on commission pay, right? They're still making the same amount as they would have made had they finished on time. So now you're dealing with people who are rushing. Another con is if someone is slow on your team, they're going to lose money on every job, right? Because you're not going to give them more just because they finished 15 minutes late or a half hour late. So there is a little bit of a balancing act, because sometimes it does happen. You run late. Sometimes that's just how it is. It either on a deep cleaning or a recurring cleaning, maybe they had a party or something and it's a mess and they run late. But then once you load up a technician schedule with some of those easier recurring clients, maybe your weeklies, right? Or something like that, then they're maybe able to finish those ones early. So it's a little bit of a balancing act, right?
Yeah, I feel like everything always balances itself out, at least in our case, but you need to make sure that you have certain things in play before diving into commission-based pay. Like you need to make sure that all of your clients and customers are paying decent prices.
Decent amounts of money.
They need to be making decent amounts of money, because if you haven't done a price increase in 5 years and your technician is making commission based off of what the client pays, they're not making enough, and that's not fair to them. You need to make sure that you raise your prices before deciding to switch to any kind of commission-based pay. The other big thing is you need to make sure that your training is up to date, because you need to train your people to work efficiently. You can't just say, "Oh, go work fast, go speed," because then they will cut corners. You need to teach them how to work efficiently through the job. And the last and most important thing, in my opinion, is you need trust. You need to make sure that you have trust, because we tell our team all the time, as Holly said, commission-based pay does not work if there is no trust. And it is a privilege.
It is.
And we make sure they know that. It is a privilege to be on commission-based pay, because our techs are making a hell of a lot more than they did on hourly.
Yeah, it's cool with commission-based pay. And the reason why we chose it is because, yes, we do hire people we trust. And if we don't trust them, we don't keep them. And it does reward the right people. It rewards the people who are efficient, who want to make money, who want to fit more jobs into their schedule and hustle a little bit in the field, without cutting corners, because they know that we hold them accountable too. And honestly, this is kind of where I wanted to go earlier in the episode. You will not succeed as a business owner, no matter what pay scale you're paying, if you are not holding your staff accountable for their mistakes. If you have a technician who is constantly getting complaints, and this could either be due to rushing, or on the other end of the coin, maybe they're just taking 5 hours in a house and their clients are sick of them. If you're not guiding them to be where you need them to be in order to succeed on their pay scale, you're not going to succeed either. And so it is super important to make sure that you have your systems in place before you even do this. And when I say systems, because I feel like we hear this a lot, have your systems in place. And I'm like, well, what fucking systems?
Right.
I need so many more. It's confusing. What I mean is your system or I guess your procedures for holding your technicians accountable. What are you going to do when they get a complaint? What's the protocol? What's the protocol when they get 3 complaints? What's the protocol if they get more than that? What's the protocol if they get a complaint and the client wants them to go back? Are you paying them to go back there? Or if they ask for a refund, are they getting paid? Well, they have to get paid for the job they do. But, what is the protocol, right? So you need to know exactly what you are going to do in these events, because either way, whether they are hourly or commission, they need guidance. They need guidance. They need to be held accountable, and they need to know that it is their duty and it is their responsibility and it is part of their job description to make sure that they are doing the job correctly according to the way you taught them, and not getting complaints and getting positive feedback and making the clients happy.
Yep. You need to still have those incentives for them to want to go the extra mile, because if you're on commission and everything's done well enough and they can leave 15 minutes early, they might not be incentivized to go the extra mile, do little things. Like I think of our team, they do cutesy little things all the time, like paper towel or toilet paper art, or making towel bows, things like that. That eats into their time, but we have different things in place to incentivize our team to go the extra mile, where they don't mind taking that extra 15 minutes to make sure that they're going above and beyond. So you need to make sure you're finding ways to motivate your team to go above and beyond and not just stick with good enough if you are going to be on commission-based pay.
Yeah, for sure. Like you need to, yes, because obviously you need your procedures and your SOPs in place for bad feedback or complaints. But what are you going to do if they do something really good? What about when they get compliments? Do you keep that in? Or do you share it? Do you reward them with bonuses or prizes or other things like that? I mean,
we do.
These are
we do a lot.
We definitely do. We definitely do. And if you guys aren't following our company page on TikTok, I recommend it because we post a lot about our employee meetings where we have a prize wheel and we have all of these prizes and they get spins according to like who had the most compliments over the period of time, who, it's different things that are going to encourage better behaviors from your technicians. So with all of this being said and kind of just piggybacking off of what I just said, leadership is so important when it comes to having employees. And I would argue it's more important than how much they make, honestly.
Yeah.
There are people who make excellent money who leave jobs because of bad bosses or terrible company culture or lack of recognition and appreciation.
I've done it. I've left extremely high paying jobs because I was treated like garbage.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't want you to get so hung up on how much you're paying or what your pay structure is first. I want you to think about, and obviously, yes, you need to figure this out before you hire, but I also want you to think about, I want to encourage you to think about, how am I going to reward them? How am I going to make sure they're happy? How am I going to make sure they feel appreciated? How am I going to create and foster a really strong company culture? And we have plenty of episodes about this. We have episodes about our team meetings, our quarterly one-on-ones, all of these things that foster an incredible company culture. So I just want you to think about that in addition to weighing the pros and cons of these pay structures. So here are a couple of questions you should be asking yourself. I have a list here. So these are questions you should be asking yourself when you are thinking about your pay. The first one is, what behaviors do you want to reward? And if you have employees, what behaviors are you currently rewarding? Is your pay structure easy to understand? That's a big one.
That's a good one, yeah.
If you have some confusing ass thing with all these different things, and I don't even know, like,
if you can't explain it properly, your employees aren't going to understand it. Like if it's confusing to you,
and commission can be a little like, okay, well, what does that equal out to per hour? You should know that.
Yeah,
we keep track of it. We know what they make on average. We know what they make hourly every single week, and we can tell them. They're like, hey, you made $26 an hour this week. That's amazing. Good job. And we can tell them that.
Yeah.
And it's very matter of fact because they clock in and they clock out and we figure it out. Would you be excited to work under your pay system, the pay system that you're thinking of? Would it excite you? Would it motivate you? Does this pay structure encourage quality?
That's a big one.
Which they all should to a degree.
Yeah.
There are ways to do that. Does it encourage teamwork? That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting one. And of course, does it help employee retention?
Yeah.
Or are you dealing with a lot of turnover? And like I said, the pay is only a piece of the puzzle. It's only a piece of it. It's an important piece. I would argue that it's important, but it's just one piece. And if you're hourly, if you have employees right now and you're paying hourly, for example, and you're dealing with turnover and people coming in late and people not doing a good job, whatever it is, maybe it is your pay. Maybe you're not paying them well enough. Maybe you're not paying them enough on the hourly structure. If you're paying minimum wage, guess what? Nobody wants to clean houses for minimum wage anymore.
No way. It is way too hard of work. If you are paying minimum wage, and in New York, minimum wage is it's really high.
It's really high.
It's still not enough.
I would
never.
No, it's not enough. So if you're paying minimum wage, first of all, cut it out, stop it. But maybe you need to think about raising your prices, raising, if they're commission, raising their prices, and if they're hourly, raising their pay, whatever it is. But you need to really think about every piece of that puzzle because maybe, like I said, it's not your hourly pay or your commission pay. Maybe it's the fact that you're a shitty leader I hate to say it. Yeah. Maybe it's that you're not holding them accountable. Maybe it's that you're not telling them when they get complaints. We used to do that.
Oh, yeah.
We were too scared to confront them. I don't know why.
I don't want to hurt their feelings.
We don't want to hurt them. We don't want to hurt them.
It's like you're hurting them way more by not telling them, because then they never get the opportunity to get better.
Yeah. Or maybe you're telling them about their complaints, but you're kind of an asshole about it.
Yeah.
We used to have a boss who was incredibly passive aggressive when we got complaints. God. Incredibly weirdly passive aggressive and made us feel like shit for getting complaints. But complaints are a learning opportunity, right? So maybe that's what it is. You need to take an audit of the way you are as a leader, what you are paying them, how you are treating them, how you are incentivizing them. You need to think about all of these things, because one change is not going to solve every problem.
Yeah. It's not a magic pill. Like changing your pay scale is not a magic pill. It's going to solve every problem in your business, and you're never going to have turnover again. You need to really think about what makes your job good? Yeah. What makes people want to work for you? When they see your job ad, are they excited? Are they like, oh, this sounds really, really good? And make sure you can back it up, because you don't want to be offering all this money if you do decide to switch or do commission or whatever the case may be. You don't want to offer all this money on commission-based pay and then you can't back it up and you're actually not paying what you said they would make. Yeah. That's the last thing you want to do. Yeah. We under promise, over deliver. And like my mom, who does our payroll, she is our payroll clerk. She'll overhear me talking to new applicants and she's like, your employees make a lot more per hour than you tell the new hires. And I'm like, well, yeah, I know, but I want to under promise, over deliver. So we do that very strategically. Yeah. And we just started keeping track actually of last week. I don't even know if you know this. It was on the level 10 doc. We started keeping track of what is the average hourly pay of all our employees for the week. Oh, I didn't know we started doing that. It's on the level 10 for last week, and it's freaking high. I was like, wow. That's amazing. What was it? Do you remember? Can I say it? Yeah. It was $26 per hour. $26 an hour. Amazing. The average. That's really good. Yeah. No, it's something to be really, really proud of. You want to be proud of what you pay. Like at the end of the day, I am so proud that we're able to provide through their own hard work. We're able to provide a living. Yeah. A livelihood for 12 technicians. Yeah. And there's a lot that goes into that. It's charging what you're worth. It's making sure that your profit margins are still there, and for us, we copied a pay structure and it didn't work at first. No. And we had to tweak. So with all of that being said, just to kind of wrap things up here, we brag on paying $26 an hour. It's because we can. Yeah. It's because we charge a lot. Mm-hmm. It's because we hired good people who are not taking advantage of the commission-based pay. It's because there's a level of trust there, right? And it's because we work the numbers to what we need here in New York. Yeah, exactly. So like we couldn't even tell you if you DM'd us and was like, what should I be charging in my state? I don't know. No. You need to do the homework. You need to do your homework. New York is very different than Florida, is very different than Michigan. Mm-hmm. And we can't tell you that. You have to do your own market research. Correct. That is absolutely correct. And you need to figure out like how much you want them to make. And if you're doing commission, what you want them to make on average and what you can afford to pay them on average. You need to do all of this work. Do not just take somebody else's pay structure and copy it. Mm-hmm. Make sure it is intentional. Create it. Make it yours. Make it something you love and want to brag about. And like I said, not every single pay structure is wrong, or no single pay structure is wrong, I should say. It just requires effort. Yeah. It requires research. It requires work. And so when you are doing this, and whether you have a few employees and you feel like you need change, or you are starting to hire, don't just willy-nilly hire somebody and be like, I'll pay you $10 an hour. And I say 10 because I'm thinking of people in states where it's like 7 minimum wage or something. But don't just do that. Make sure you math is the path. Math is the path. If I knew that, I would not have started a business, bro. I would not have started a business if I knew that math was the path. Stop it. We have fun. No, we do have fun. We have fun. But it's true. And at the end of the day, too, you need to make sure that you're still taking home a paycheck. Yes. If you do have employees that are the ones in the field for you, you need to make sure that you're also making money too. You can't just make the commission out of control. It's very nice if you're being generous, but you need to make sure you are also getting paid what you're worth.
You also have to be, I want to just quickly touch on this, and I could do a different episode about this because it low-key pisses me off.
Oh, no.
Some of y'all think you pay like, it's maybe not commission where it's like a percentage, but you'll say like, oh, I'll give this person like 25%, like my helper. Well, I guess that is a percentage, but like, I charge $100, I'll give them $25. What the fuck? No, you're not. No, I'm sorry. You need to like pay fairly. And if you want to be mop free, don't think that you're going to be making 50%. We don't take home 50% of our revenue.
No, absolutely. We're
not even close.
In the field doing the work.
Like, your technicians need to be making the most money in your business.
Yeah. They are the VIPs of your business.
They are the VIPs.
No matter what industry you're in, they're the ones busting their asses out in the field, bringing in the money.
Yes. They deserve good pay. And if it means you need to take a little bit of a pay cut in order to get them up and running, because I know it's hard, like especially when you're still cleaning and you're hiring, and it's probably a helper to start, right? Or maybe you have where you're going out and cleaning some houses and they're going out and cleaning some houses and you're paying them like 25% or something like that. It's not feasible.
No, it's not fair either. It's not fair.
It's
and you're
not
never
fair.
going to get good people that way.
Yeah.
Sure, you could pay 25%. That's totally fine. But you're just not going to get good people.
No, you're not. You're not. And so protect your profits, but don't be greedy.
Yes.
But I just needed to.
It's true.
Because it drives me nuts. I see it on Facebook all the time. I'm in so many Facebook groups, and people are like, "Yeah, like I'm paying. I made $100. I kept 75 and gave her 25." And I'm like, "Whoa, that's like, you need to." And if that's what you need, then you need to figure out your bills in that case.
Or you need to raise your prices.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you're out there paying your employees minimum wages, that tells me A, you're greedy, or B, you don't charge enough.
You don't charge enough.
You just don't charge enough. That was the push that we needed to raise our prices. When we switched to commission, we were like, oh shit, I guess we have to raise our prices. When it was just us on the line, we didn't care as much. When we have mouths to feed, we're like, oh, we have to charge more.
Yep. And there's so much that goes into that too. It's all like, our last meeting was all about luxury and like the reason we can charge what we charge and how to make it so that we can charge even more. And so it's all like a well-oiled machine. And this is just one little cog.
Yeah.
This is one little cog, right? And there are so many other cogs that spin together. It's like, it's honestly overwhelming, and I want to quit just talking about it, to be honest. I'm like, oh my God, there's so many pieces to the puzzle, aren't there?
There's so many.
Wow.
I also thought of another con real quick that I want to just put out there because it is a real thing. Calculating the pay is so much easier if you are paying hourly.
Mm-hmm.
That is one thing I will say. And it's not that much when you have 1 or 2 employees, but when you have 12 going on 13, like we do at the moment, it's a lot. It's a lot to calculate. You have to calculate what it is. You have to add tips. You have to figure out what the hourly pay is. You have to make sure you're being compliant. You have to, there is so much that goes into it. It is a lot of work. For us, it's worth it because our technicians make so much more money. So it's worth it for us.
Yeah.
But something to consider just from a really logistical standpoint.
Yeah, especially when you're starting out. Because there are CRMs that will help you with commission-based pay. I don't fully know what all of them are. Yeah. We use Jobber. It doesn't. Yeah. So we have to manually do things. And luckily we have someone who does it for us now. We were quick to delegate that.
That was, I think, the first thing. I was like, I don't want to do this.
We were like, it was taking like 2 days to do. It was ridiculous because of all the distractions. She's able to do it in 1, which is beautiful. But so there are lots. Just weigh out your options. And if you're going to take anything away from this episode, it's to take your time. Like, make sure it's right.
Yeah.
Do the math.
Switch in every other day. Your employees will go nuts.
Yeah. Like figure it out, because we have had to change it multiple times and it's not a fun process.
No.
So with that being said, I hope that this episode was helpful. I know it's overwhelming thinking about hiring employees and figuring out what they're going to make. And it is a big responsibility. You are making sure that food is on their table. And in some cases, you're hiring moms with kids. And, it's a big responsibility. It really is. But as long as you do it right, there's really nothing to worry about. And so I hope that this has you thinking about all of your options. If you are gearing up to hire your first employee, I just want to tell you that you got this. You are going to do amazing. Just make sure that you are the leader you would want to have. And honestly, I think a lot of us have had crappy ones and maybe some good ones who we want to kind of be like, right? We aspire to be. And then some people were like, whoa, we will never do that. Use those real life examples to guide you as you lead, and just make sure that you are a good leader, you're paying fairly, and make sure you protect your profits, of course. But with that being said, we're going to go because your girl's hungry. It's lunchtime. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Go kick some ass, and we'll see you next time.